Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Madele Makeup, and today you're probably wondering why I have my entire base done. Yes, the rumors are true. I'm self-conscious of my bare face, but more importantly, today we are reviewing the Anastasia x ALYSSA EDWARDS palette. So it comes in this PR box. It looks crazy already. This is a mirror. This is a fan, and this is the palette that we have all been waiting for. So this is the Anastasia ALYSSA EDWARDS palette. Now, if you guys don't know, ALYSSA EDWARDS is a drag queen. I didn't know that until I heard about this launch. I'm not really too big on like the whole drag scene, I guess you could say, but I do have really high respect for drag queens. I believe that drag queens pave the way for the makeup that we have today, the makeup trends, makeup styles, and I don't think that looking like a drag queen should be an insult to someone who wears a lot of makeup. Like, I just don't have some respect, you know? This was put together by ALYSSA EDWARDS, and it's a really pretty palette. It has a matte yellow, which I'm really excited to get into because a lot of palettes kind of either shy away from matte yellow or they try it and then they flop. So hopefully this one doesn't flop. I'm gonna do swatches of this palette first, and then I'm gonna get into doing an actual eyeshadow look. I'm also gonna try the new Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow base. I thought this was crazy that she already came out with this, because I remember like 2 months prior, like we were literally telling Norvina, like, you should try making an eyeshadow base because someone's canceled, and she literally did that. I'm so excited to try it. She said it was really good, and by the swatches on her Instagram stories, they looked really full coverage, so we're gonna test this one out and see how she performs. But first we're gonna do swatches, so if you guys want to see that, keep on watching. So when you open the palette, you get the traditional ABH 14 shades. There are 1, 2, 3 shimmers, then there's this one matte with like a purple mauve kind of color, but it has like silvery reflect in it, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mattes. There, that's what it looks like. It's really pretty. The packaging comes in like this different type of box. I'm very used to the ABH velvet, like this Norvina palette right here, but this one is a really cute change. I saw a lot of people saying that this is what Manny MUA's Life's a Drag was like, what should have been, but honestly, I don't like pitting people against each other. That was a good palette, this is a good palette, hopefully. I think this is gonna be a good palette. Let's do swatches. So I'm gonna roll up my sleeve so we can do swatches. So this first shade is the white shade, and it's called Headliner. Wow, okay. That looks pretty good. Next, I'm gonna go in with the shade Inspire. This is like a shimmery champagne bronze color. Ooh, that's really pretty. Honestly, did I expect any less? No. Next, I'm gonna go in with Unicorn Tribe. That's this shade right here. I also dipped into the yellow because I got too excited, but I wasn't thinking about going in order. But this is Unicorn Tribe. This is that shade that I told you has like the glitter reflect. That's one swipe, and then I'm just gonna even it out a little bit. Ooh, whew, that's really pretty. And then I'm gonna go in with Brick Road. I already dipped into it because I told you I got excited. This is that matte yellow. That's not bad. I actually really like that. I'm kind of excited about this because I really like ABH eyeshadow formulas, and I've never found them to be like chalky or anything, which is interesting because every yellow that like has flopped for me has been like chalky. Next I'm going in with Texas Made. This reminds me of Bahamas from the Riviera palette. Yep, it's a really bright pink. It's really pretty. And then I'm gonna go in with Dream It. I saw people freaking out about this shade on Twitter. It's the cobalt blue shade. I'm just gonna go in with my pinky, and it's the shade, wow, that's really gorgeous. So that's Dream It. And I'm just gonna even it out by going again. Yeah. Then we're gonna go in with back rolls. That's just a nice dark brown. That's buttery. That's really buttery. Okay, so that's the first swipe. This is the second. I didn't dip again. Then I'm gonna go in with the Supreme. I think that's hilarious because it reminds me of on Twitter how everybody was joking about the new Supreme after the sister scandal that, you know, shook the world. Anyways, this is the Supreme. That's a really pretty corally shade. I don't know how to describe colors, but that's what it looks like. I really like that shade. I feel like this palette in general is really good for like rainbow looks or neutral looks, which is what I really like about this actually. I wish ABH would come out with a full-on rainbow, but I understand like the whole like that's not gonna sell blah 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 market stuff. You're gonna go in with HOE Ho, and then I'm gonna swatch it right here. I got hair on my arm that might affect it, but I think that looks really pretty. I'm saying that about every damn shade. Who am I? Then we're gonna go in with DDG. That one's really pretty. It's like a purple shimmery shade. Then we're gonna go with BBDC. That is like a dark plum shade. And then let me swatch it here. That one's really pretty too. I kind of like how the darker shades aren't super like but like I just like how they're not super strong because I kind of like to build up my darker shades because I'm a flop and I mess up a lot. This next one is Beyond. It kind of reminds me of Palermo from the Riviera palette. It's just a shimmery magenta shade. That's what it looks like. And then we're just gonna swipe. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that one. I'm just gonna even it out a little bit because I went a little too ham. And then I'm gonna go in with Believe. That is like a true matte purple. I'm just gonna, I really like that one. And then I'm just gonna swipe. Okay. Yeah, that's a really pretty shade too. Purple's my favorite color, so as you can see, I'm a little bit biased. And then we're just gonna go in with Beast. That is a black shade. I love that a creative palette like this has a black shade just because I feel like black and white are like the most important shades to have when you have colors, because I feel like they deepen colors and they brighten colors, so they definitely will make your palette more versatile. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm illiterate, but here's that black shade right there. Okay. So the colors, they are really pigmented and really bright, but I'm excited to see what it'll look like with the ABH eyeshadow base on top or underneath, and then you put the eyeshadows on top. Just because usually the natural like skin tone of your skin, sometimes it will make certain colors not pop, but this eyeshadow base right here is a really light color. It's very close to white, I feel like, and it'll basically make the colors pop more, and you just kind of have to blend it into your skin tone so it doesn't look like too crazy. I'm gonna test it out and see how it works. I never tried the P. Louise bases, so I don't know how they'll compare, but I've seen really good things from the P. Louise bases, and if this is good, it's good, and that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so I'm just gonna wash my swatches off, and then we will get into the eyeshadow part of the video. It's all eyeshadow parts, but we're gonna get into the eyeshadow tutorial. Okay. It comes in this little container right here. It very much reminds me of how the P. Louise base comes in a container. So you can just squeeze it out like that. I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand. It's kind of liquidy. It reminds me of concealer. Just gonna put that out there. Do with that what you will. I'm gonna take this mirror and I'm gonna go in with the ABH number 18 brush. And I'm just gonna start patting that all over my eyelids. Right away, compared to my skin tone, this looks white, like straight up white. It kind of reminds me of the MAC Paint Pot, but more creamy, which I like. Yeah, overall, it kind of just feels like a concealer. But isn't that pretty much what like P. Louise bases have been, right? So I'm just gonna keep blending that out. I'm using this brush to pat it on, but I'm gonna buff it out with a different brush in a second. Now I'm gonna go in with this Real Techniques medium shader brush, and I'm just gonna blend the edges just like that. Alright, and then I'm just gonna do the other eye because I don't want the product on the back of my hand to go to waste, so we'll be right back. The one thing that I really do know about these types of bases, and this is how I like to do my own colorful eyeshadow, is that with a base like this, you do not set it with powder. You just let it be tacky and wet, and you kind of just roll with it. That's usually how you get the eyeshadows to stick better. And I'm just gonna do full cut crease. So I'm gonna start with the shade Texas Made, and this is the ABH A10 brush. I'm just gonna tap off the excess, and then I'm just gonna start with patting motions right at the inner part of my eye. And already I can see that this is very bright and pigmented, and I think I owe a lot of that to the base, because it didn't look this like vibrant when I was swatching it, which is expected because I'm a little bit brown. Same brush, I'm gonna go in with Dream It. That's that cobalt blue shade right here. And I'm just gonna tap off the excess again, and then I'm just gonna tap it right here. Kind of shy when it comes to blue shades, especially the blue purple shades, just because I feel like on me they tend to look muddy, but I kind of am living for how pretty this blue is. Go in with the same brush, but I'm just going to use this side, and I'm going to go in with Believe. That's the matte purple, and I'm going to use that to blend the pink and the blue together. So I've just been packing on the color just to make it more vibrant. I haven't had to do it much. I did like an extra layer of pink just because the blue was kind of getting rid of it. I'm going in with this ABH A14 brush, and I'm just going to go in with Dream It. That's the cobalt blue shade. And I'm just going to keep focusing along here because this is where I'm going to cut the crease. And I just want it to be really opaque where I cut it. I'm just going in with the pink again, and I'm using this musty brush that I've been using for the other colors, and I'm using that just for the in-between portion where I'm blending the two together and also putting the purple. I feel like this will just make it blend better. One thing I do know about the P. Louise base is that it's really good for cut creases, so I'm just gonna see if I can cut my crease with the ABH eyeshadow primer in the same way. Let's see how full coverage it truly is. I'm just going in with this Morphe M421. I think this is my favorite brush of all time for cut creases. I will never give it up. So yeah, I'm just gonna see how that works. By the way, for the most part, I'm not rubbing or like swiping the product in. I'm tapping. This is how I ensure the most coverage. This eyeshadow base so far, a lot. And I'm really picky when it comes to this kind of stuff. So that's a really good thing. Yeah, I know some people when they cut creases they like to go in with like makeup remover. I'm lazy and I always like mess it up just because I have a hard time getting the oil off my lids when I do that. But some people do like to go in with makeup remover first and then cut the crease. If you want a less cakey eyelid, definitely do that. Don't be like me, don't be lazy. I just am not good at it, and I'd rather not teach you guys how to do it on video if I suck at it myself. Anyways, I'm gonna cut the other crease and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't know where to go from here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the yellow shade, which is Brick Road, and I'm just gonna pat it along here, First thing I'm noticing is that the yellow shade is not getting patchy. I noticed with the James Charles palette, when you go in with the yellow shade, especially if your base is like still kind of wet, it'll have like patches, like some will oxidize, not really oxidize, but it'll get darker. It's not as like crazy as my past experiences with yellow shades. So I'm just gonna go in this brush right here, and I'm just gonna get along the cut crease, just like that. Okay, and next I'm gonna go in with Unicorn Tribe. I think this is a shimmery shade. I still can't really tell. It might have just been glitter from another pan that like infiltrated, but I'm just gonna tap that along my lash line like so, and I'm gonna let it blend into the yellow. This is gonna mess up my look, but I'm going in with this ABH A1 brush, and I'm going into DDG. That's the shimmery purple shade right here, and I'm just gonna press that in. I'm just trying to use as many shades as I can, to be honest. Anyway, if you haven't noticed, I've been going pretty heavy with the shadow, but I haven't experienced any fallout in my under eye bake, so that's kind of a good thing. Just like that. Then I'm gonna go in with Beyond. That's the shimmery pink shade right here, and I'm just gonna hit my inner corner like that. And then I guess the last thing I'm gonna do is go in with BBDC. That's the plum shade, and then I'm gonna hit the under eye. A little bit. I'm just gonna buff out the edges with headliner. In case you're new here, that's the white shade. Don't like how my inner corner is not that bright. I'm gonna go in with headliner, and I'm just gonna hit it in the middle. I'm just going in with my Lancome Mr. Big mascara. Okay, so this is where we're at. I just threw on this Dazed liquid lipstick from ABH. I also went in with this ABH Dream Glow kit, and I used this highlighter called Sunshine. Yeah, blinding and glittery as heck. I love it. I also went in with these lashes from Ebony Collection. They're in the style Madele, named after yours truly. You can buy these on the Ebony Collection website. I'll have it linked down below. And you can also use my code Madele to get 10% off your purchase at checkout. Totally up to you. I then went in with this blush trio from ABH. It's the one in Cocktail Party. I went in with the shade Babe. It's like the light pink shade right there. And then I also bronzed my face with the powder bronzer from ABH. This is in the shade Cappuccino, and I just went around the perimeter of my face and blended it out. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go in with my Hangover RX spray. We're just gonna fan ourselves. Really cute. I am like obsessed with this fan. This primer, for starters, I really like this primer. I think it was everything I imagined it would be. I really like that it's a light shade. The only thing is that I need to learn how to control the squeeze bottle because I accidentally squeezed out too much, so I just wasted a bunch of product, and I'm kind of sad about that. But that's just me and my own learning curve, I guess. The next thing, I really like this palette a lot. I think you'll get good use out of this if you really like creative looks. I know it's mostly in the pink blue realm, but really it's like so pretty. I'm so obsessed with it. I literally, this shade right here, it's blue, so it's a little bit hard to work with, but once you, like, with just a little bit of patience and kind of like packing on and then slowly blending out, and also taking advantage of the headliner shade to kind of buff out the edges, it will work for you. It's really pretty. Texas Made, I thought it was gonna be similar to like Bahamas in the Riviera palette, so I was like, oh, please see that. Sorry, I got cut off, but as I was saying, this shade right here, Texas Made, that really bright pink shade, I thought it was really similar to Bahamas in the ABH Riviera palette, but this one, when you apply it, it's so much more bright. I know that sounds really weird because Bahamas in the palette, in the Riviera palette, is already really bright, but that one kind of is like more bright in the sense that like it's bright but it works with neutrals really well. This one is like, bah, like it's like really bright pink, and it's a different type of pink. Like there's a little bit of a nuance between the two, so I really like both, but this, for this palette, amazing. The yellow shade, like I said earlier, I was kind of raving about it. It's one of the better yellow shades that I've used. It doesn't do the weird thing where it gets patchy when you apply it on a wet base as much, so that's really good. The swatches, everything kind of impressed me with the swatches. I really liked it. This shade right here, really pretty. Don't really have that much to say about it. This shade right here, I'm still not sure if that's supposed to be matte with a glitter mixed in with it, or if it's just like contaminated by this shade right here, but I really like this shade regardless. I didn't use it as much as I was hoping I would use it, but Unicorn Tribe, that one is really, really pretty. I might do another video using the more like neutral shades of this palette, but if you guys like this one and you want to see more, definitely let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and again, I'm so thankful that ABH sent me these products. I really didn't think that I would ever be in this point in my career. Like I would never expect to be here. So yeah, please, if you really enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe. Please share this video with a friend. I would really, really, really appreciate it. We're just trying to make our dreams come true, you know. That's about the end of this video. Just so you guys know, if you want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, obviously everything is at Madele Makeup. It's the same username as here. And while you're here, again, you might as well subscribe. I'm not good at outros. Yeah. Okay, I guess that's it. I'm gonna go take pictures now. Bye guys.